Good evening, everyone. We are gathered here for the 15th episode of our Industry Connect series. So many of you may have thought about the future of work. With technology, globalization, and new norms, the future of work is a topic that affects us all. Today, we have a special guest who will be explaining the future opportunities in the work sector. He is the Assistant Vice President at Nest Digital Academy. Let's welcome Dr. Pradeep S. Welcome to the session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
To introduce the session and the speaker, I would like to invite Mr. Anand Damas, General Manager and Head of Product at SkillActz. Finally, I welcome all others who are present here today. Let's make this an interactive session. Students, please take a note that the Google form will be shared at the end of the session. Kindly fill out the Google form to receive a certificate of participation. Anand sir, over to you.
Thank you, Sangeeta, and a very good evening to all of you. Good evening to Dr. Pradeep, too, who has kindly agreed to come address all of us. So, just to introduce us first. So, SkillActz, as you know, is a platform which helps freshers to get their first job. And on the other side, we help companies to hire freshers. That is what we do. And as part of that, we have been conducting this Industry Connect series of lectures with the idea that we can help freshers to get get opportunities to get glimpses into the world of work and how it is changing, how what work will be like. So we have had in the past, various leaders from the industry come and talk to us about various trends in the industry. But also we have had, occasionally, junior, people who have, recently joined the workforce and, coming and sharing with us what their experience has been as they started working. So all of these are, we are doing it in the hope that it would be useful for, students to get prepared for that transition from the campus world to the world of work. And, with that, today's topic we have is, the future of work, and we have Dr. Pradeep with us here. So he is currently the an assistant vice president at Nest Digital Academy. He has had a very interesting career, a lot of varied experience which he has got, in both the government and private sector. So, this places him in a very interesting position to talk about how work is changing. His background is, after his, BCom, he took his MBA from QSAT in international business. And then, after that, he has been constantly updating himself. You can see from his profile that he is a person who continues to learn. So he has an MSc in psychology from the University of Madras, and then has taken on various additional learning programs from the Symbiosis Institute in IIM Lucknow, IIM Kozhikode, and various other organizations. He also has acquired a PhD again in business from the Nurul Islam Center for Higher Education. And in terms of his career, he started in the in the insurance industry, and in later he switched to training, first within the insurance industry, and then later, a lot of years he spent at the ICT Academy of Kerala, which is a public-private partnership between the government of Kerala and the IT industry. So, so he was there as the head of retail training unit, and for the last almost 2 years, he has been the assistant vice president at Nest Digital. So, we look forward to hearing from you, sir, about how what youngsters can look forward to in the future of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Anand, for a wonderful and elaborate introduction. Okay. And thanks, SkillActz, for inviting me. And so, very good evening, my friends. So I'm very glad to have a small share a small presentation, or I would like to share my views, and I will also share some of the updates from the industry as it is. Okay. So my humble request is, since this is a very small group, okay, I would like to make it as very interactive. Okay. So rather than running a lot of PPTs and doing a lot of presentation, I would like to listen to your questions. If I'm not able to answer it, okay, I'll be able to answer it. Otherwise, I'll get back to you, and I may ask you questions. You can either unmute your mic or you can put on chat, whether I think that works. So my approximate time for the presentation will be around 40 minutes, where I will like to share few data, few facts regarding the industry and how the work is getting involved. And I would like to share my thoughts also. Okay, so currently I'm heading the learning and development of Nest Digital. Okay, so we do recruit large number of freshers. We also recruit laterals with a lot of experience. So I'm responsible for upskilling, reskilling, and even imparting the fresh skills to the both aspects. I mean, both freshers as well as the laterals. So I would like to share some of my experience, okay, when it comes to recruiting freshers and training them and upskilling and deploying them into the project. So that is the context. So again, I just want to repeat and reiterate. Okay, so I would like to make us a bit of interactive session, and I have a small PPT to share with you. So please let me know whether the PPT is visible. Uh, Hope
We
that,
can see it now.
yeah, fine. Thank you. Yeah. So the topic for today's session is the future of work. So basically how the work is getting evolved. Okay, what is the change in the landscape of the recruitment? Okay, what is the change in the technology that can impact our work? So that will be my major line of discussion. Uh, so so basically I'm from Nest Group. I don't know how many of you heard about Nest Group. If you have heard about Nest Group, so can you just put an S in your chat? You can put an S in the chat if you heard about Nest Group. Okay, I can see a few responses. So let me give a very quick overview of Nest Group. So we are basically from Cochin. Okay, I mean we are basically from Kerala. In fact, okay, we can call it as a homegrown MNC. So you might have seen or heard about a lot of multinational companies, but only few companies have an origin or the root based out of Cochin. Okay, or even on from Kerala. So we have been existing for more than 30 years. Okay, so we have more than 56,000 employees with the 15 factories and offices globally. Okay, so basically we are in the business of ODM, OEM. I don't know whether you heard about a concept called ODM, original design and manufacturer. Okay, original equipment manufacturer. I'll just explain it in detail. Okay, so we are a diversified company. We are into technology. We are into the software development, and our major line of business is into component manufacturing. Okay, I mean you heard about something called embedded systems. Okay, so we have large huge factories. Okay, we have even, okay, a specialized, okay, economic and sorry, electronics park, okay, based out of Cochin itself. Okay, then we have a division on fiber optics. Okay, we have division on plastic shielding, metal molding. Okay, so we have a lot of, I mean, if you talk about manufacturing, okay, we do have complete facilities for, okay, idea to the full manufacturing. So we are also a little bit into education, okay, a bit into food and beverages, but I would say that 90% of our business is majorly into the component manufacturing and into the software. Okay, so we are actually focused a lot into our research and development. We have 20 plus patent plus 150 publication. I think only few companies from Kerala you can get having such kind of focus on research and development. So we are majorly focusing on industries, automotive business. Automotive, we have something called mobility, which we focus on EV, automotive, electronics. We also work on a segment called healthcare. Okay, so for example, we support in manufacturing of MRI machines for companies like GE, okay, Siemens, okay, Philips. Okay, in fact, if you open the MRI machine, you can see a lot of nest components. Okay, so it is getting white label and sent to sent to their facilities for testing, and later on, okay, the companies will, the hospitals like Amrita or KIMS will purchase it and use it. We have a strong presence in aerospace and defense. So maybe one example I would like to share: we are one of the company who manufactured the radar in the Rafale aircraft, and we are one company which manufacture a lot of components in the recent the project of Chandrayaan, okay, Aditya projects, yeah, of ISRO. So we also having a presence in banking and financial services industry. So basically, we are a complete engineering company. We are into manufacturing, engineering, design, and software services. So like a total transforming turnkey solutions. Okay. So this is our global friend. Okay, we have a couple of offices in India and of course abroad also. So why I just started with this, because we work in high niche technologies. For people like us, the greatest challenge is, okay, getting enough talent. Okay, so talent is one of the greatest scarce resource for us. Okay, so we are actually forced to start up operations in Bangalore and other centers in India, because we find it very difficult to get talent. Okay, I mean, very in specific areas, in even in Kerala. Okay, so that is our since our nature of business into the niche area. So talent is biggest challenge for expanding our business. So this is a perfect opportunity given by SkillActz, so that we can share our experiences, our expectations from the people like you, so that you can get equipped and maybe you can join company like us or our competitors, so that overall an industry will get benefited. So I just want to start the presentation with a phrase of a famous management consultant, Stephen R. Covey. So the statement is like this: begin with end in mind. Okay, so it's a very beautiful statement. Okay, so what he is mentioning is that, okay, whenever you want to start any activity, you should have a clarity regarding the outcome or the objective. So when it comes to your career, okay, so I'm just asking a questions: are you very very clear, okay, where you are ahead, okay, where you are planning to go, and what are the opportunities are there, okay, what is your existing skill set, okay, what is the gap in your skill set, okay, are you able to work on that kind of addressing that kind of skill gap? So if you're able to address it, okay, there are huge number of opportunities are lies ahead you. So I want to start with a little bit of the reality or the facts, because we should understand the facts and reality. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, so how does the employment scenario looks like in India? Okay, maybe you can have three responses: good, okay, then bad, ugly. So you can say either of these three options: good, bad, ugly. Just want to listen from your side. You can put on the chat. You can put either good, either maybe bad or ugly. Can I get your response? So my question is very specific. Yeah, go. Yeah, I can see. Okay, Arya said that employment scenario is very, very bad. Okay, how about others? Bad. Joel is also saying that bad. Devika said that, okay, it is average. Yeah, there are few opportunities are there. Okay, okay. Kunju Kunch. Okay, is saying that it is average. Okay, yeah, good. Thanks for your response. Okay. So I hope, okay, you can see the screen. Okay, yeah. So let me go ahead with the presentation. So yeah, so one thing regarding our unemployment. Okay, so if you see our unemployment statistics, okay, if you talk about the age category of 25 to 29 years, approximately 13% of the Indian youth are unemployed. So that is not a very encouraging scenario. Okay, so a lot of people are unemployed. Okay, if you talk about people from 20 to 24 years, around 44-45% of the people are unemployed. So this is a highly alarming scenario, especially when you are at the age of 20 to 24 years. Okay. Now, next question. Okay, now already we have an unemployment scenario. Now, so what do you think? Okay, how many graduates are getting produced in India every year? Okay, how many graduates are getting graduated every year? Any idea? Any guess? You can put some guess. Okay, you can put on chat also. So, what is your idea of how many number of graduates are graduated every year? I'm talking about graduation. Okay, there are a lot of people, okay, who are not able to clear their examination and not able to get their graduation certificate. Any idea how many graduates? 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. I request you to give some kind of responses, because that makes that motivate me more. Because as I said earlier, I don't want to give a broadcasting of information. Okay. So this is staggering 65 lakhs. Okay. So this is the data of 2021. So data 21 say that, okay, around 65 lakhs graduates are coming to the Indian job market. So in 2022 also, okay, obviously there will be a small incremental increase in the figure. Okay, in 2023 also, okay, so around same number of people are coming to the Indian job market. Now the next question is, okay, so what is the grad or employability of the graduating students? So this is another data. Okay, so if you are having an engineering graduate, you are better positioned. Okay, because it said that almost 50% of the engineering graduates can be employed. But in it, when it comes to the non-professional courses, okay, the employability is comparatively very less. So one hand, okay, the unemployment scenario is not very good. I mean, employment scenario is not very good. The another scenario is that, okay, you have large supply of, okay, talent coming in the market. Now third scenario is, okay, when it comes to the talent, okay, talent is not equipped enough to do a job. So that is the scenario. Okay. Now, what is the way out for this? Okay, so normally what the people will think, okay, in this case of scenario. So people will think, okay, let us start a business. Okay, why we are studying? Okay, why we are spending so much time and money? Okay, for studying. Okay, so I should start startups. Okay, we have seen a lot of unicorns. Okay, we are inspired by, okay, Mark Zuckerberg, okay, Steve Jobs, okay, then a lot of other people. Okay. So why we are wasting our time in study? So this is another data. It is being actually published. Okay, it said that, okay, if you want to be really successful in the business, okay, you need to be well qualified. Okay, you can see only one dropout. Okay, from the I think you know the meaning of unicorn. So unicorns are the startups, okay, which having 1 billion valuation. So only one dropout is there. Okay, the rest of them having good education. Okay, they most of them having a good work experience also, because the work experience give you a lot of, okay, connect, lot of insight about the industry. So there is a high probability, okay, if you having a little bit of work experience, then you venture into a business or a startup, because you are actually leveraging on the valuable experience you got it. So this is another, okay, startup failure. Okay, if you talk about the startup failure rate, okay, around, if you talk about the duration of startup, if it is for 10 years, almost 70% of the startups having failed. So it's a big dangerous scenario, am I right? Okay, so on one aspect you want to get in the job market, and another aspect, if you want to get into the business is also not very easy. Even though our government is having a very beautiful ecosystem of building the skill set of the people, okay, building the startup ecosystem, okay, but this is the scenario. So what do students do? Okay, I think 3 weeks back, okay, I got surprised. I mean, shockingly surprised. Okay, in Kerala got a record. Okay, so what was the record? Kerala got a Limca record of sending around 7,300 students, okay, on a single day to Canada. Okay, so it was a record, but there is a lot of, and if you really deep dive into that particular aspect, okay, so I had a so I was actually traveling to different colleges and had an opportunity to talk with a lot of youngsters like this, okay. So when I interacted with them, so I got a feeling that, or feedback that, okay, just go to Canada, UK, Ireland, or Australia, and use invest money on the higher education, and you can get migrated. So I'm not against migration. It is a really good, okay, because it can actually bring a lot of benefit to the Indian economy, and because the standard of living is comparatively better in the Western countries. But my only worry is that, okay, now, yeah, of course, after completing your graduation, you can do a post graduation and abroad, okay. But are you studying in a good reputed university? And I have seen the most of the people, okay, who are going to the tier 2, tier 3 universities in Europe or in Canada, they land up in some jobs which is not suited to what they studied. Okay, so one of the recent experience, one of my cousin, okay, who had an a BTech and MBA. Then he did another MBA from UK, and once he completed the MBA, he landed in a caretaker job. Okay, now we can call it as an underemployment or hugely underemployment. Okay, so you are skilled in something and you are doing a something else. Okay, so I mean, that kind of migration, I don't know how far people will get motivated, because one third of our life is spent on the job. Okay, so if you're not able to love your job, okay, it can impact on our health and it can impact on our family life. Okay, if you ask me, okay, I really love training. I really love being with the people. Okay, so if I am into some other job, okay, I can continue it as a job. It is not as a career. It is not as a something which gives a happiness. Okay, so that is a big challenge. So around 22 lakhs people are going abroad for education. This is another maybe a scenario which is not very good. Of course, if people are getting into a top tier universities in India and getting employed on the same field of study, okay, that is really we can appreciate. So this is one side of the coin. Okay, so sorry to start as a little bit of demotivation, because I just want to share the facts. Okay, that is a one side of the coin. There's another side of the coin. What is another side of the coin? The other side of the coin. Okay, can you tell me which is the fifth largest economy in the world? Can anybody put in the chat? Okay, which is the fifth largest economy in the world? Okay, I think no response. Let me try to answer the question. Okay, so India is the fifth largest economy in the world. Okay, recently we overtook UK. Okay, now if you look at the other economies like Germany and Japan, okay, we can easily overcome these economies. That is what, okay, BCG and the Gardner actually forecast. Okay, so by around 2075 we'll become the second largest economy after China, but by 2030, okay, we may overcome, okay, Germany. Okay, we may be able to overcome Japan also. Okay, if you are actually growing at a very faster pace. Okay, now another good news. Okay, thanks to the poor relations with China and other countries. Okay, so a lot of manufacturing facilities being set up in India. So you heard about the recent, okay, Foxconn, okay, they shifting the entire manufacturing base, not the entire, most of the manufacturing base from China to India. So they already started one operations in Tamil Nadu with more than 30,000, 40,000 opportunities. I mean, job opportunities being offered. They are planning to triple their investments. They are coming with their chip manufacturing. So lot of and thanks to the governments, the Make in India policies, and thanks to all the state government, they are actually competing with each other to bringing the companies to their own states. Okay, even we say that, okay, Kerala is not a very favorable for the industry, but Nest company like Nest, okay, with more than 250 million revenue, okay, our 90% of the staff are based out of Cochin, and most of our factories are based out of Cochin. So we don't have much challenges. Okay, it is Kerala is really a good place to growing the business also. Okay, so that is a good side of it. Okay, if you talk about IT also, okay, a lot of companies are facing something called attrition. Okay, so at an average 15 to 20% is attrition of the most of the companies. Okay, people with a good skill set, okay, they have a lot of opportunities. Okay, even companies like Nest, okay, we find it very difficult to get people on certain niche areas. So we are planning to engage with a few academia, okay, to trying to get, maybe influence the academias to train on people on certain areas, and we would like to get that kind of talent, okay, which is something like a ready to deploy in the project. So this is what I said about Foxconn. Coming to the point, okay, our success is, okay, this is a famous phrase by Mark Sanborn, another famous management philosopher. He said that our success is not on the ability to simply change. It is based on your ability to change faster than your competitors, customers, and business. Okay. Now you have a lot of people, graduates are there. Okay. Now how far you are able to differentiate, or how far you are able to distinguish from the other, I mean the herd, okay, and how far you are able to equip. Okay. So that is a question for you. So the technology is changing very fast. Okay, these were the few terms, so there's which were not existed in 2006. Now, if you talk about the faster diffusion of technology, okay, whenever a new product is being produced, whenever a new service is being produced, it is very easy to reach to the customers. For example, the telephone, which actually requires around 75 years to reach 100 million customers. Now, when it comes to the chat GPT, so you might have used chat GPT extensively, maybe for your assignments, okay. It took less than 2 months to reach 100 million customers. So whenever a new innovation is being, okay, being come into the market, the way to reach to the way to reach to the customers is really fast, and it's astonishing also. So why? Because now we are living in a era called industry evolution. Okay, so what do you mean by industry revolution? Okay, industry revolution is basically the invention of certain specific technology or specific process leads to a massive improvement in the standard of living. For example, the first industry revolution, okay, which was actually originated in the UK and the European countries, okay, with invention of machines, okay, powered by water and steam, okay. Second industry revolution was triggered again, okay, it had a major focus on US and UK, okay, I mean the European countries, which is characterized by the mass production. Okay, so third industrial revolution, okay, where India was able to leverage and capitalize, okay, because of use of manufacturing of chips and electronics. And fourth industrial revolution, okay, it is a combination of cyber physical systems, okay. So that leads to, okay, the faster diffusion of any kind of new innovations. So what is you maybe I'm now not going a lot into the technology. So these are the 9 technologies which are transforming the industry 4.0. Now we are actually going further from industry 4.2 to industry 5.0. Now, what is the impact of industry 4.0 or industry 5.0 for us? Okay, it have impact on economy, it have impact on business, it have impact on the society, and as well as individual. So let us come very specific on the impact of the jobs. Okay, so a recent study by McKinsey globally, okay, they said that, okay, our work will be getting impacted by AI and automation. Okay, so you can see from this slide, okay, so these are the professions, or these are the jobs which will be highly impacted by the automation. Okay, for example, food preparation, construction, cleaning, driving, because of the lot of advancements in the manufacturing. Okay, you heard about 3D manufacturing, fab labs. Okay, the construction. Okay, earlier, okay, people used to construct a big buildings by brick. Okay, now you have a different, okay, pieces of big construction pieces which can be assembled together, and you can construct within a few period of time. So you might have seen, okay, when the COVID hits China, okay, they constructed big hospital facilities within 2 days. Okay, these are all the advancements of, okay, the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, so these are the few sector which is less impacted. To be very specific, if you talk about top 4 occupation, these are the top 4 occupation, okay, which are insulated by the industry 4.0. So what are the top 4 occupation? It can be health workers, care workers. There is a lot of demand for the healthcare professionals. You can see a lot of people, okay, nursing professionals, okay, In Kerala, okay, a lot of people are migrating to the European countries, and now we are facing a challenges of less care workers or less nursing professionals in India. STEM professional, I hope you know about STEM professional, okay, science, technology, engineering, and maths, health professionals, managers, business, legal professionals. So in short, okay, the occupations which requires a lot of innovation, creativity, okay, that requires a lot of human connection or it requires a lot of human empathy, that will remain in the job employ. I mean, in this job market. But the jobs which are in routine and repetitive in nature. Okay, for example, in early days, okay, the public sector bank used to recruit large number of the clerks. Okay, and a lot of engineers, even my brother-in-law who completed the engineering, he was actually working in working as clerk in a public sector bank. Now that is being actually, that kind of jobs we cannot see now nowadays. Okay, if you go to a private sector bank, okay, you can see a lot of people, okay, who are working in the front desk, but their 70% of the job is to acquire new customers, because all the routine kind of jobs can be easily done by a machine. Okay, even nowadays no one goes to the banks, am I right? Okay, because I think I have gone to a branch, okay, 1.5 years back. Okay, everything can be done in your internet. Okay, everything can be done through your mobile. Okay, you have a lot of apps. Okay, and you, due to the lot of advancements in the fintech, all the banking, all the monetary transaction can be done through a fingertips. Okay, so there is less requirement for the people who can handle such kind of clerical jobs, and due to the technological robot process automation, so all the such kind of job, I mean routine kind of jobs, okay, or clerical kinds of jobs can be easily done. Okay, now we are slowly shifting from industry 4.2 industry 5.0. So despite we say that, okay, there are a lot of emphasis on the technology, there are a lot of interesting jobs is actually coming in the market. Okay, so this is one interesting job I have found recently. Okay, so there is one company who would like to pay 1 lakh, okay, for the interns. So their job is to sleep. Okay, so very interesting, am I right? So who will pay, okay, for a sleeping? Okay, now only thing is they have certain I mean, parameters. Okay, so they are basically a sleep analytics company. Okay, so as an intern, okay, you have to go through certain parameters, because sometimes, okay, you cannot sleep in the night. Okay, sometimes you cannot use the digital gadgets. Sometimes, okay, you may ask you to sleep for 2 hours. So all these parameters they will observe. Okay, so, but what I mean to say that there are a lot of interesting opportunities are coming up. So, on one hand, okay, a lot of jobs are being replaced, and on another hand, there are a lot of jobs being getting generated. Okay, so try to understand, okay, which are the segment which have a lot of demand in the market. Okay, now when it comes to the top 10 skills of 2025, okay, this is actually the survey done by World Economic Forum. So if you want to be really successful in the job market, so these are the few really important skill set, okay, which can help you, okay, to get a dream job. For example, you should have a great analytical thinking and innovation. So why analytical thinking and innovation? You know, nowadays every company is actually facing a big challenge, because the customers' expectations are changing every day. Okay, you heard about a concept called product life cycle, just like a human life. Okay, for example, human, okay, when you born as an infant, okay, then you go to the teenage, then you go to the middle age, okay, then you go to the old age, and then you die. Okay, a product will also have a life cycle. You have an introduction, growth, you have a maturity, and then decline. Okay, now product life cycle of the products are getting shorter. So you may be knowing about the largest mobile manufacturer, Nokia. Okay, so there are models like 3310, 2100 that was in the market for almost 50 years. So gone are days, okay, where a particular product will be in the market for maybe years. Even the Apple, okay, Apple used to launch 1 or 2 models every year. Now they are forced to launch 4 or 5 models every year, because customer expectations are changing. Nowadays people are companies are looking for people who can really think and innovate, okay, in a faster pace. And active learning, okay, so as Anand rightly mentioned that, okay, the technology is changing very fast. Okay, so now why I am studying and continuously studying, okay, even I completed my post graduation 20 years back, because if you want to survive in the industry, okay, you need to learn, okay, constantly learn. New and new technologies is coming up. Then complex problem solving, okay, critical thinking and analysis, okay. So company like especially the technology company and knowledge based companies, their recruitment pattern try to understand, okay, whether you will be able to solve the complex problems, whether you will be able to apply your critical thinking. So there are a lot of change in the test patterns, I mean selection process. Earlier, okay, a lot of IT companies used to have aptitude tests where the logical skills, analytical skills, mathematical skills being tested. Now most of the companies are actually asking the people to appear for a coding assessments, okay, in a hacker or hacker rank. And when it comes to the technical interview, okay, we actually gives a use case, okay, and we ask them to solve it, okay. So we want to understand how you are able to apply the situation. So if you really want to get into the jobs, okay, these are the top 10 skills, okay. And when it comes to the technology, okay, I would say that, okay, there is AI. A lot of people say that AI, data science, machine learning have a huge scope. Okay, of course, it is having a huge scope, but if you ask me, okay, from my experience, I may not be expert to talk about data also, but from my experience, there is huge demand for the people with a basic coding knowledge. Because if you actually observe the job opportunities in IT sector, there's a lot of demand for people, okay, who can write code on a Python, coding on a Java, HTML, C++, .NET, okay, C sharp, okay. People feel that, okay, these were the languages which is outdated. But the companies are looking, okay, whether you have sufficient coding aptitude. Once you have a coding aptitude, you can easily switch to the other kind of coding assessment, okay. And yeah, of course, it is always better to having a super specialization, but maybe for a initial hurdle, okay, the people can actually work on basic coding skills. Okay, once you have a basic coding skills, maybe you can specialization on high-end technology like a machine learning, data science, where only thing is there a lot of mathematics, statistics is also involved, okay. What I would say that there are huge opportunities lies, okay, even with the basic programming languages. And even we find it very difficult to get people on these segments also. And another thing is growing gigs, okay. Nowadays I think you heard about something called gig economy. Okay. Now, I will share my experience. Okay. So I have one project which is coming up in Bangalore. Okay. It is basically into embedded systems and into the Bluetooth. So it is a short-term project. I am not sure that, okay, that project will continue for a long. It is a very short-term project. So rather than hiring a person as a full time and for a long time, okay, just actually looking for an option of, okay, taking few people and deployed in the project for maybe 1 or 2 months. Okay. So then I explored a lot of platforms like Upwork, okay, Fiverr, okay. There I posted that this particular requirement. I was able to get few people. Now this is another kind of opportunities which is really making huge impact in Indian scenario, okay. Lot of companies are looking for short time kind of projects, okay. Now what is it for you, okay. Now you may ask, as a fresher, I want a permanent job, I want a regular job. But yeah, there are a lot of opportunities where you can capitalize it. For example, if you are not being employed, okay, you can start doing small works, and that can be add to your profit. So my humble suggestion is that if you are appearing for an interview, okay, rather than having a resume or a curriculum vitae, you should have a profile which actually reflects your actual achievements. So what is your actual achievements? Have you done any kind of projects? Have you shadowed in any kind of projects? Have you done any kind of internships? So have you published any kind of articles? So these are the actual testimonials which will be more interest for an organization, rather than filling up the CVs. You have a lot of, okay, softwares are available, okay. You can create a very beautiful with a lot of good graphics and everything. But now most of the companies, they have something called application tracking system, okay. So the company like Nest, okay, where we may have huge number of CVs coming up, So this application tracking system will search for keywords and try to identify, okay, whether okay these people will suit for this kind of job. So what I'm just want to say is that okay, gig kind of opportunities is actually gaining a lot of momentum in India. So try to capitalize on that also. So in short, okay, I just want to summarize my presentation, and I want to listen from your questions. Okay, if you are studying, if you are studying in your college, okay, you should have a slow shifting from your education. Okay, I mean, basically when you talk about the education, okay, you should be okay. Think about a higher order thinking. Okay, so what is higher order thinking? Whether you will be able to apply what is learned from the your textbooks. Okay, that is what the higher order thinking. You should have good communication community. You should engage with the peers and try to learn from your peers. Okay, so this is a so what we call 21st century student outcomes. Okay, so we cannot ignore our basic subjects, core subjects. That is very critical. Okay, if you go for an interview, the technique in the technical panel, people will ask for the basic concepts, and they will ask about the application also. So we cannot ignore the basic concepts. That is very critical. Then life and career skills. Okay, so what are your life and career skills? Okay, how you able to communicate in a team environment? Are you able to collaborate in a team? Okay, are you able to adaptable to the challenging situations? So these are called life and career skills. Learning and innovation skills, that is very critical, because sometimes we need to for example, since I am into the learning and development, we come across a lot of projects, okay, which is very unique in nature. Okay, so we actually try to find people, okay, who can be really fit to that particular kind of job. Okay, let us take one specific example. For example, we need a lot of people on a something called QTQML. So that is a UI for an electronics products. It's a framework used for creating UI for an electronics products. So we find few people, okay, who are skilled in that kind of yeah, QT and QML. So what we think is we try to take people having a C background, and we try to okay train these people on this kind of skill set and make them deployed in the projects, because there are huge opportunities in that kind of niche skill set. So information media and technology skills. So I know everybody is very comfortable in using your WhatsApp, Facebook, maybe Instagram. But when it comes to the technology skills, there are certain. If you are not from a tech engineering background or tech background, suppose you are a commerce graduate or an MBA graduate, you need to have a good skills on Excel. You need to have a good skills on business analytics. Okay, the question is, are you comfortable in Power BI? Are you comfortable in a Tableau? Okay, so in short, okay, the first hurdle, okay, if you want to clear it, you should have a sound knowledge on the core concepts. Okay, you should have a good communication skills. You should be able to work in a team. Okay, you should be having an aptitude or an interest for a continuous learning. Okay, and finally, okay, you should be able to understand, okay, what is the latest technology, and you should have a basic technology literacy. Okay, nowadays basic technology literacy is we call as a data literacy. Okay, we'll be able to work on basic technologies. Okay, like data analytics, like Power BI. Okay, maybe at least an Excel, whether you will be able to do an advanced Excel. So that is in short. I just want to end my discussion. It is not the strongest of the species that surveys, nor the most intelligent that surveys. It is the one that is most adaptable to change will survey. So if you want to summarize my entire presentation, okay, I just want to summarize the entire presentation, then I will be more happy to listen to your questions and answer your questions. Okay, so I started with the current scenario in the job market. Okay, so the current scenario is we have a lot of unemployed people. Okay, that is a sad side of it. Now the positive side of it is that there are a lot of opportunities. India is fastest growing economy in the world, and we are poised to become the third largest economy in the world. Okay, and a lot of manufacturing, electronics manufacturing is coming up in India. So there are huge opportunities are coming up there, and companies are finding it very difficult to get people. Okay, or especially on the niche skill set. Okay, Now we are in the age of 4.0, industry 4.0. So there are certain kind of skill set we need to be get upskilled if you want to be really successful. So the professions like healthcare workers, tech workers, business managers, okay, they have a lot of opportunities. The works which are repetitive and routine in nature, that are getting replaced with the AI and automation. Okay. Now if you want to be really successful in the 21st century, okay, you should have active learning, okay, skills, complex problem solving, creativity, innovation. These are the few skill set. And then I suggested that there are a lot of opportunities are coming up in the gig economy also. Okay. So there is no harm, okay, either till you get an full-time employment, you can actually do a few projects in a gig. Okay. So try to get an exposure in the real life world, and rather than having a great graphics in your resume, okay, fill your resume or CV with the real life testimonials. So real life testimonials, have you done an internships or real time projects, are you where you will be able to shadow with some experienced people. Okay. For example, when I did my post graduation in Cochin University, I did a lot of event management and I did a lot of market surveys. Okay. We used to get small money for that, but that experience really counted. Okay, when we actually gone for the interviews, because we actually had a real life flavor of what is happening in the industry. So that was the one advantage. So we didn't realize, but that point of time, our biggest motivation is to get some, I mean, pocket money. Okay, so that we don't depend our parents for, okay, for our interview if you want to go to MBA. Okay. So at last, okay, just ended up with something called okay, great opportunity lie ahead. Okay, if you are rightly, if we have the right skill set. And, so this, see what I've seen is this, that especially in IT, okay, the first hurdle is little bit difficult because there's huge number of graduates are there. Okay, once you have a 2 to 3 years of experience in IT industry, in any technology, there is no looking back. You will have a lot of opportunities. So company like us, okay, we find it very difficult to retain highly talented people because a lot of other companies are poaching, okay, for such kind of talented people. So the first hurdle is the biggest hurdle. Of course, once you are into the employment, you will have a lot of other small hurdle because you cannot stop learning. Okay. So that is what I want to the summarize my entire discussion, and I would like to listen. I have seen, okay, few hands being raised up. Okay, you can either you can unmute your mic, or okay, you can ask questions, or you can put on the chat. So I have seen few hands being raised.